Apple isn't just annoyed about the iOS 26 leaks, it's going all in. The company has already won a default judgment against Jon Prosser, and now it's pushing for punitive damages, maximum interest, attorney's fees, basically everything it can legally get. This isn't just about a leak anymore, it's about making an example. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. Here's what happened. Back in July, Apple filed a lawsuit against Jon Prosser of Front Page Tech and his friend Michael Ramaciotti. According to court documents, the two allegedly accessed a developmental iPhone belonging to Ethan Lipnick, who was an Apple employee at the time. Apple claims they managed to get Lipnick's passcode and even figured out when he'd be away from the device for an extended period. When that window opened, Ramaciotti allegedly accessed the developmental iPhone and immediately jumped on a FaceTime call with Prosser. During that call, Prosser reportedly saw iOS 26 running on the device. He later used that footage to create detailed renders of what was then being referred to as iOS 19's redesigned Messages app. Those renders became the centerpiece of an FPT video. A month later, Prosser published another video showcasing what he called the most complete leak yet, a design language referred to as liquid glass. Again, Apple claims those visuals were based on what was seen during that unauthorized access to the developmental device. Now, here's where things escalate. Ramaciotti and his legal team have reportedly been cooperating with Apple, but Prosser allegedly failed to respond to Apple's complaint before a key deadline. Because of that, the court granted Apple a default judgment. In simple terms, that means the court accepts Apple's claims as true because Prosser didn't formally contest them in time. That's a big deal. A default judgment doesn't automatically determine how much money Apple gets, but it gives Apple a strong legal advantage. The next step is determining damages, and that's where things could get expensive. Apple says it has served Prosser with subpoenas for documents and a deposition. Prosser has acknowledged receiving them, and both sides are reportedly working toward scheduling that deposition. The goal? To determine how much confidential information Prosser actually obtained. That will likely influence how much Apple can claim in damages. And Apple isn't holding back. The company is asking for punitive damages based on what it describes as willful and malicious misappropriation of trade secrets. It also wants injunctive relief, meaning a court order preventing Prosser and others from using or disclosing Apple's confidential information ever again. On top of that, Apple is seeking maximum pre-judgment and post-judgment interest, attorney's fees, and reimbursement of legal costs. If this goes to a jury trial, it could set a serious precedent for how tech leaks are handled going forward. It's also important to understand Apple's culture here. Under CEO Tim Cook, the company has taken leaks very seriously. Back in 2021, Cook famously emailed employees saying Apple would do everything in our power to identify leakers and that people who leak confidential information do not belong at Apple. Ironically, that email itself leaked almost immediately. But the message was clear. Apple sees leaks not as harmless hype, but as theft of intellectual property. What makes this situation even more interesting is that Prosser hasn't stopped leaking. Just last month, he published renders of the iPhone 18 Pro, including a redesigned rear camera bar and features like variable aperture for the main camera and satellite-based 5G connectivity, allowing users to connect even while the phone is in their pocket. So while Apple is pushing hard in court, Prosser continues doing what made him famous in the first place. From a broader perspective, this case highlights the tension between tech journalism, content creators, and corporate secrecy. Leaks drive views, they build audiences, they create excitement months before official announcements. But when those leaks allegedly involve breaking into a developmental device and accessing trade secrets, that crosses into serious legal territory. If Apple wins significant damages here, it could send a chilling effect across the leak ecosystem. Content creators may become more cautious, sources inside companies may think twice, and companies might double down on internal security. At the same time, this raises questions about transparency and hype cycles. Leaks have become part of modern tech culture. Entire YouTube channels are built around them. The audience clearly wants early information. But Apple seems determined to draw a line, especially when it believes the information was obtained unlawfully. The big unknown now is how much this will cost Prosser. With a default judgment already in Apple's favor, the deposition and damages phase could be decisive. One thing is clear, this isn't just about iOS 26 anymore. It's about control, over information, over narrative, and over who gets to reveal Apple's future. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.